All right, welcome back everyone from lunch. We had a great morning session, and now I'd like to introduce Georgia Perakis, who will be kicking off our PM session. Georgia is the interim John C. Head III Dean of the MIT Sloan School of Management, and she's also Professor of Operations Management and Operations Research and Statistics. Dean Perakis teaches courses and performs research in analytics and AI, in particular the intersection of optimization and machine learning with applications in pricing, revenue management, supply chain, and healthcare, among others. Prior to her position as interim dean, Dean Perakis was co-director of the Operations Research Center and associate dean for social and ethical responsibilities of computing in the Schwarzman College of Computing and MIT Sloan. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Dean Perakis.
So good afternoon, everybody. I know you just had lunch, so this may be a very challenging spot to speak. Unfortunately, for some reason, everything is happening at MIT today. I don't know why. So unless I could be cloned, which that technology, hey, MIMO and LGO need to come up with that, guys. Retsev, Dwayne, please. But they say better late than never. So it's really my pleasure to be here and welcome you, even if it is late, to this very special event and this very special MIMO, which is very close to a place that is very close to my heart, the LGO program, because from 2009 to 2015, I was serving as the co-director of this program. But then I think I left the program to more capable hands, Retsev Levy, who is sitting there, and Dwayne Boning, who have done this program that I wished I had done back when I was in their shoes. But it also brings me back memories to the origins of the LGO program back now 35 plus years ago, which was at that time Leaders for Manufacturing, very much related to what MIMO is trying to do, because back then the mandate was to create technical leaders in manufacturing and operation in response to what was happening in terms of manufacturing in Japan and bring back manufacturing to the US. And that's how the LFM at that time program was created. And that was the program that Don Rosenfield, Tom Magnanti, and Ken Bowen were actually working to create back then. And because now I'm going to age myself, but I was a PhD student at the time. Now you can calculate and see how old I am, really old. You know, I have very fond memories of meeting my own advisor at the LFM offices back at the time. But the LFM that later evolved to be the LGO program, because people recognize that manufacturing is very important, but it extends to the broader concept of big M, if you like, and operations. And that's why in the late 2000s, it was renamed to LGO. And this is a program that on behalf of the Sloan School, this is a very important program to us. And it's very much about creating strong technical leaders in operations and manufacturing, which I know that that's the goal that Bruce and the program are trying to do with the MIMO program. And so that's why the LGO program is so important, and that's a program that the school believes very strongly on its success and development, together with the School of Engineering. And although there are other programs in the US, this is really still, to this day, 36 or something years ago, that since it was created, that it's really the way it's doing it. You get 2 degrees. It's really something that's very special. And only now in other places, people are starting to think of dual degrees and so forth, through the Schwarzman College of Computing, for example. So in the 6 or 7 years, basically, the Sloan School also decided to strengthen its presence in terms of AI. through all levels of programs that it created, starting with the undergraduate program, where it created an undergraduate major in business analytics, and going to the master's level program, where there is the Masters of Business Analytics, also another successful program, and of course, endorsing a PhD program that Recep Levy, Vivek Farayas, and several other faculty in operations are a member of, which is the Operations Research Center. And of course, that connects very, very strongly with the LGO program because, and I can already see, Paolo, for example, in this room, who was an Operations Research Center master's student and an LGO student at the same time. So these are programs that basically talk about and educate students in terms of AI with very much thinking of the applications of manufacturing and operations because the students are very, very much working on these topics. So that's how, this is some ways educationally and in terms of the programs we are creating, we are embracing the same mission and the same goal as MIMO is. And of course, apart from the programs that I'm talking about, the analytics certificate that actually several people across the Institute are actually taking, but again, with a goal to make sure that our master's students are basically educated in this space strongly. And we started Sloan with a core class that we call Data Models and Decisions to Analytics Edge, but more recently, hands-on deep learning that many LGOs, masters, and even PhD students are actually taking. I talked about research that the MIMO program is actually doing jointly with many PhD students. Many of them are coming from the Operations Research Center. And that's a program that has a long history because it actually started with a physicist, Philip Morse, in 1953. So it's now 71 years old. And it has very much evolved to be about AI operations and its applications in many, many different spaces that include supply chains, that includes manufacturing, and it includes many other places. I see also that CSAIL is very much a partner in this. And CSAIL, as you know, is part of the Schwarzman College of Computing, which is an effort at MIT so that let's not be in silos that we all love doing, by the way. One way to be successful is to say, let 1,000 flowers bloom. But another way is to say, maybe we can create a structure that is horizontal and it brings together computing and AI across the different disciplines through, the degrees that we are giving and the bilinguals that we are creating, through the courses that we are basically giving, and what they have created there is what is called the common ground, but also through research. And of course, we talk about AI, we talk about LLMs that I saw you have basically a Gen AI panel, I believe, and session that looked very interesting. And I should, by the way, open a parenthesis and I say, today, everything seems to be happening at MIT, including the opening of the building for the Schwarzman College that I'm going to have to run soon after that. So I seem to be going back and forth across campus, and I guess it's about burning calories, but that's a different story. But, a big part of AI and LLMs is about basically ethical and social responsibilities that is sort of arising in this space. And what is the right way of dealing with these issues? Is it about regulating? Is it about educating people to be aware as they are creating these things, to be aware of what could be the negative consequences? But also about thinking about the positive effects and not just be a negative person and thinking only of what is going to go wrong, but also think about what is going to work. And this is where CERC came into place, because again, it's another horizontal entity that's trying to bring together this type of research and this type of issues across MIT again. And through a new course that we are developing, through bringing these materials in courses, and I know there were a couple of CS classes that we tried to bring this material this year, but this is going to broaden, basically. And through research, where we launched for the first time CERC seed funds, so that across the Institute there is research in this space that's come into play. And why am I mentioning all of this is because I see very much MIMO to be at the center of all of this and having very similar goals, except that this is about manufacturing and operations, which of course I think it's a very important topic because this is the area of my own research at the end of the day. But I think I've been going on and on. I wanted to say that I, on behalf of Sloan School, enjoy the day and all the talks and the panels. They all seem very interesting. And I wish it wasn't that there are 4 events that are happening today that I have to go to all of them, and then I could stay the whole day. But welcome, enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you. And thank you to those, Bruce, Retsev, and Duane, and Thomas, and Ted, and other people in the room that are the hearts of making this whole thing work that I'm not mentioning by name. But thank you.
Coming. I wanted you all to hear how education is morphing to create students that can go out and help to solve these challenges, because one of the things that we certainly talked about is workforce upskilling, and that can start here in these programs as well. So thank you for giving us that update.